CIA agent makes a confession on his deathbed. Quote, "We blew up the World Trade Center 7 building on 9/11. Looks like they're all coming out of the woodworks, ladies and gentlemen. Before they die, they have to alleviate their conscience, if you will. 79-year-old retired CIA agent Malcolm Howard has made a series of astonishing claims since being released from the hospital in New Jersey on Friday and told he has weeks to live. Mr. Howard claims he was involved in the controlled demolition of World Trade Center 7, the third building that was destroyed on 9/11. Mr. Howard, who worked for the CIA for 36 years as an operative, claims he was tapped by senior CIA agents to work on the project due to his engineering background and early career in the demolition business. Trained as a civil engineer, Mr. Howard became an explosives expert after being headhunted by the CIA in the early 1980s. Mr. Howard says he has extensive experience in planting explosives in items as small as cigarette lighters and as large as 80-floor buildings. The 79-year-old New Jersey native says he worked on the CIA operation they dubbed New Century between May 1997 and September 2001, during a time he says the CIA was still taking orders from the top. Mr. Howard says he was part of a cell of 4 operatives tasked with ensuring the demolition was successful. Mr. Howard says the World Trade Center 7 operation is unique among his demolitions, as it was the only demolition that we had to pretend wasn't a demolition job. He claims he had no problem going through with the deception at the time because when you are a patriot, you don't question the motivation of the CIA or the White House. You assume the bigger purpose is for a greater good. They pick good, loyal people like me, and it breaks my heart to hear the stuff talk, if you will. Even John Kerry has admitted that World Trade Center 7 was brought down by a controlled demolition situation. But even he admits that now, looking back, something wasn't right. Explaining how the building was brought down, Mr. Howard says it was a classic controlled demolition with explosives. He used superfine military-grade nanothermite composite materials as explosives. The hard part was getting thousands of pounds of explosives, fuses, and ignition mechanisms into the building without causing too much concern. But almost every single office in the Building 7 was rented by the CIA, the Secret Service, or the military, which made it easier. Mr. White explains that World Trade Center 7 was loaded with explosives in strategic places in the month leading up to the day that changed the course of American history. On September 11th, while the North and South Towers burned, fuses were ignited in World Trade Center 7 and nanothermite explosions hollowed out the building, destroying the steel structure, removing the reinforcements, and allowing the office fires to tear through the rest of the building, hollowing it out like a shell. According to the official 9/11 report issued by the government, World Trade Center 7 collapsed due to uncontrolled fires that were caused by debris that floated over the World Trade Center 1 and 2, which had been hit by passenger planes. If the official narrative was true, World Trade Center 7 would be the first tall building in the world to ever collapse due to uncontrolled fires, and the only still skyscraper in the world to have collapsed into itself due to office fires. Mr. Howard and his colleagues feared the public would see through the official narrative and rise up against the government, demanding to be told the truth. Quote, "There were so many loose ends, so much evidence left behind, we thought the public would be all over it. We thought there would be a public uprising that the media couldn't ignore. They'd be funding investigations and demanding to know what they were being lied to. We thought they'd find chemical composites in the area that would prove Building 7 was blown up. Quote, we thought there would be a revolution. It would go all the way to the top to President Bush. he'd be dragged out of the White House. Quote, but none of that happened. Almost nobody questioned anything. The media shot down anyone who dared question anything they were told, unquote. I guess we should follow the money. Mr. Howard claims he has no direct knowledge about the destruction of North and South Towers of the World Trade Center, explaining that CIA operations are very specific and that it is common to be working on a larger project while only understanding a small piece of the puzzle. Thank you for watching Culture Shock TV. I leave you a link below